Hi everyone, I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of January 8th. Welcome to 2023. I hope the year so far has been treating you well and I hope you're excited or at least hopeful or at least curious about what's ahead. 2023 holds the vibration of the number 7 and the number 7 is connected to seeking, asking questions, exercising the muscles of our higher mind, and all of that seeking, exploring, that curiousness, that opening of the mind can lead us to a deeper spiritual connection. Number 7 is a very spiritual number, and that spiritual connection comes when we explore, when we push the boundaries, when we look at things from a higher level perspective. I've always thought of the world this way. I've always thought of this way. What if I change that? What if I level up? What if I ask myself, what would my higher self do in this situation? What would my higher self think in this situation? And explore that question and see where it leads you and try to move through the world, just shifting your perspective. There's a lot of that energy in this number 7 year, and a lot of that, like I said, can help us to really deepen our spiritual connection and to feel more connected to our spiritual essence. So that's sort of the vibration of number 7 of 2023. If you want to figure out your own personal year number, because even though it's a number 7 year, you're also working with your own personal year number in numerology. I have an article to guide you. I'll drop a link below. And I actually have 2 articles. The second one comes from Nikki. If you've been on the website, you know Nikki does a weekly tarot reading. Well, she also does a yearly tarot reading. And you can use your numerology to align with a certain tarot card. So check that out. It's 2 separate articles. Have a look at your numerology and figure out what your personal year number is for the year and then what tarot card that's aligned with. So that's a little fun thing if you haven't done that yet. I'll drop both articles in the link below, in the description box below, sorry. Working with the vibration of number 7. This week, we are riding on the tail of that January 6th full moon. That full moon fell in the sign of Cancer. It was a very, or at least I kind of felt, it was a very, I need a rest full moon. I felt like my energy levels were a little bit zapped and I really had to kind of nurture and nourish that. The moon loves being in the sign of Cancer. It's the most at home in that sign. And so that harmony can be filtered into us as well. And whatever came up for you under this full moon, it's likely that the universe was guiding you to connect with a higher harmony. For me, that was rest. I needed to rest, and that was helping me to find my harmony. For you, you might have felt rest come up. You might have felt an issue come up that needed to be cleared in order to find, that sense of harmony, that release that needed to happen. And when I talk about this, when I talk about that finding of harmony, we're not in control of what happens around us a lot of the time, or situations that involve other people. We can only really control the way we think about it, the way we feel about it, and our actions. And that is where the root of harmony comes. It comes from just focusing on what can I do? What's in my power right now to return myself to a state of balance and harmony. And sometimes that could be just thinking about the situation differently. Sometimes it can be rest, and other times it can be setting boundaries, whatever it is. But that full moon was really helping you to come to a sense of harmony. Maybe you needed to sleep. Maybe you're feeling sick and you needed that real deep rest. But this full moon was just helping us to come back into a place of harmony. So hopefully, as the full moon energies dissipate, you're able to feel a little bit more of that harmony energy flowing through. This moon also, falling in the sign of Cancer could have really brought up where we need to nurture or be of service to others or to look after others. Also the self, but it could have also come up with other people in our lives too. So that might be something that you're working with. If you felt like you've had to give a lot to others, this week you will find that balance will start to be restored a little bit more, and you can start to focus about what can I do to bring myself back into harmony. That full moon, the full moon energy was also kind of pulling us in a couple different directions. So if you feel a little pulled all over the place, know that you can visualize bringing your energy back to your center and using the energy of this week as that full moon fades to really kind of ground and center yourself. This full moon kind of fell in this like peak point of Mars and Mercury retrograde. Both of these planets have been in retrograde. So if you've been feeling, if you've made all your, New Year resolutions and goals for this year and are feeling like a little bit defeated or, burnt out with it already, don't worry. This retrograde energy is really encouraging us to reflect, to go back over things. It's not supportive energy for starting new things. It's not really supportive energy for like getting super motivated and fired up about something. If you are, great. Ride your wave, ride your energetic wave. We all have our own energetic fields that we're working with too. But cosmically, looking at the collective energies, it is a time of rest, reflection, of kind of making sure that we have wrapped up loose ends of the past before we can move forward. This week, however, that energy begins to shift. We have been working with Mars retrograde since the end of October and Mercury retrograde since the end of December, but we're getting some shift. On the 12th of January, Mars will station direct. I remember hearing another astrologer when I would study a lot. I still study a lot, but back in the day when I was first learning about astrology and I first learned about Mars retrograde, I remember reading that Mars retrograde is kind of like a rubber band pulling back on itself. Like you have to kind of go back. There's that force pulling you back. And when Mars starts to then go direct, it's like letting go, and it's like a slingshot, right? That, rubber band starts to snap and move forward. So this is going to be a very quick, fast, forward-moving energy once Mars goes direct. Now, Mars takes a little bit of time to get back to its former sort of oomph and energy, but from now up until March, we're going to feel the results of that needing to go back. Whatever Mars retrograde is highlighted for you, even if it just on a general level has been a lack of motivation, a little bit of fatigue, thinking about what motivates me, getting your priorities in order. These are some of the things that Mars retrograde can stir up for us. It gets you to focus on what's important, gets you to question your motivation, question your goals, think about where your fears, and can highlight fears sometimes too. All of that, whenever you've been working on it, you're going to start to see the results of your work. You're going to start to feel time and things moving quickly. So from this point up until March, when Mars really gets into its full power, we're going to start to feel and see things moving, quickly, and things happening for us, opportunities, doors opening. So a lot of door opening energy in 2023, by the way. Really like that energy. If you want to know more about the cosmic energy for 2023, check out my forecast. I have a forecast all about the major cosmic events of the year. I'll put that in the description box below too. But yes, this Mars direct happening on the 12th. Planets are always at their power, most powerful. We're able to feel it the most when they station retrograde and when they station direct. So January 12th is going to be a date to watch. Focus on, think about what's going on with, your goals and projects at this time. What's going on with your feelings of motivation? What's going on with some of the fears in your life? How are they blocking you? How are they rising up to be heard so you can address them? Are your motivations being questioned? All of that might be things coming up for us this week, particularly around that day that Mars stations direct. Mercury will also station direct next week on the 18th. So we're really shifting out of this retrograde fog. We just have a little bit more to go. retrograde energy can create a fog. It can make us have to wait and be patient, which can be difficult at times, but that fog is starting to lift. If you have felt like you've wanted to do something and you've just had to take, 2 steps back for every 1 step forward you take, that energy is on its way out. Give it time, but it's on its way out. So that is the sort of main cosmic event for next week, is that Mars direct. It's big energy. Mars goes retrograde the least out of all the planets. So when it happens, we really feel it, and it's important to pay attention to it. It won't happen again for another, 2+ years. So this is really awesome energy to work with, energy that we can use, like I said, to realign our motivations, to think about how we're choosing to spend our energy, and to make sure we're spending it on something that is meaningful for us. Actually, I have a little exercise for you before we wrap up. This can be your little homework for the week. I want you to think of the 3 things that are taking up the most of your energy right now. What 3 things are taking up the most of your energy right now? And then I want you to think, in a perfect world, if everything was awesome, there were no boundaries, limits, rules, restrictions, whatever. In a perfect world, what 3 things would you like to spend your energy on? What 3 things would you like to have take up the most of your energy? Think about that. And when I say take up your energy, really when we're doing things that we want to do, they energize us. They don't really deplete us. But just for the sake of this exercise, I want you to see where not how much in alignment you are, but maybe where you're spending energy where you don't want to be spending it, and how you can maybe shift it to something that you do want to be spending it on. Think of your energy like a currency. How do you want to be spending it? So, little exercise for you just to get things jogging within you. Just hopefully it helps, and hopefully you get more insights and leave that kind of bubble of confusion and fogginess that this retrograde energy can sometimes bring. So the clouds are parting, right? We're on the way out of that energy. All right, so wonderful to be with you all again. I will see you next week. I forgot to say, moon calendars are still available, and they are now 20% off. So if you would like to get your moon calendar for 2023, I'll put a link in the description box below. Thank you.